Hi, students. All right, this week we're going to be doing the ABCs of creative movement, and we're going to talk about some movements that maybe you've heard a lot of before, and maybe they're brand new words to you. And either way, you're going to be set to go because we're going to walk through from A, B, C, all the way to Z. We've talked about the elements of dance. We've talked about things like level and size. We've talked about pathway. We've talked about locomotor and non-locomotor movements. And we're going to focus on some of those movements this week because we're going to start building sequences. When you build a dance sequence, you are creating a pattern of movement. You are creating an order of movement. You're saying, we're going to do this first, then we're going to do that, then we're going to do that, then we're going to do that, and we're going to end with this. That is sequence building. And you've probably heard me say, okay, now what sequence did you remember? Or we're going to go on to the next sequence. And you may have even heard this in your classrooms with other teachers as well. And so it's a really important concept for dance and creation in all realms. Let's go ahead and work on building some tools in order to create our own sequences. Okay, A is for advance. Advance means to move forward, to advance. So can you give that a try? Can you advance? B is for bounce. There are a lot of ways to bounce, but generally it's just a bend of the knee. Bend is another B word for dance. And bounce. You can bounce side to side. For C, we have clap. We do a lot of clappings. We do a lot of clappings and giving rounds of applause. But in dance, you know that a clap can really help emphasize a movement. D is for dig. Go ahead and take your heel and hit it into the floor in front of you. This is called a dig and is commonly used in tap dancing and other dance styles that involve percussion of the feet. Echo is when some movement is done and then it is repeated. So if someone in a dance with, say, two people, maybe slides to the side and clap, clap, someone else might echo them and slide to the side, clap, clap. Now F. F is for fall. Falls can be dramatic, okay? Or falls can be really slow. Falls can be all the way to the ground. Or a fall can be something that is done very intentionally to emphasize a movement. So moving across the space and falling down. And then rising again for your next part of the movement. So F is for fall. Make sure when you're practicing that one, you fall carefully. Grow is what we can do maybe after a fall or really any time during our movement. To grow, you can imagine that you are a seed that has been watered and sprouting and growing. Okay, to grow basically means to start from a lower level, maybe like a middle or low, and growing upwards to a higher level. Grow. Okay, now hop. H is for hop. Hop is for moving on one foot. I is for isolate. Isolate is when you move one part of your body at a time. So let's just go ahead and put our hands on our hips. We're going to isolate our head. We're going to say, yep. Now we can bring our arms out. We're we're going to isolate our arms. Isolation means that you're focusing on moving one particular thing. Okay, you could even just isolate one foot. Jump is a lot like hop, but on 2 feet. You can jump high, or you can do little jumps. Jump on 2 feet. K is for kick. We can kick across, kick. We can do little kicks that are down low. Okay, they don't necessarily need to be a high kick, but they can be. You can kind of prep yourself for a really big kick, do a hop back, and kick that leg up. Kick. Leap is when we start on one foot and we hop to another. So L is for leap. Now, leaping can be something in which you'll see dancers do, and they glide and fly through the air with their legs extended all the way. So focusing on starting on one foot and switching to the other, and that is a simple leap. One foot to the other. All right, melt. M is for melt, like that ice cream cone that melts in the hot, hot sun. Melt is similar to grow, but instead of going from low to high, you go from high or middle to low level. Okay, so melt, you can just kind of picture that your body is that ice cream falling and oozing down. Okay, melt might be dramatic and it might be very slow. It's like a fall, but slower. And you can melt in different ways, maybe focusing on just melting your hands. That would be like an isolation combined with melting. Then melt your knees. Okay, so you can focus on different body parts doing these movements. N is for nod. We can nod our head. Okay, and when you're doing something like the hype, you're kind of nodding your head to the side, right? Or maybe nodding it forward as you do that. So you're combining different body parts to do those movements, and N is for nod. O is for open. You can open your hands. You can open your chest. You can open your legs all at once, or you can isolate and only open your arms. You can isolate and only open your legs. And oftentimes in dance, especially in dances like ballet, you want to have an open chest while you're doing your movements, okay? Passe, that might be a new word for some of you, but I'm sure some will also recognize this term. And we're going to just talk about it in a very basic way. Your 2 feet in what is called first position, so you're making a V. And you can bring your arms out. And you're going to take balance on one foot, take your other foot and bring your toe, trace it up your leg to your knee, and then you can go back down. Okay, so passe is basically this position with your leg. You can be passe parallel, where it is more out in front of you, or you can be passe turned out, where it is more to the side. Okay, Q is for quiver. Quiver is when you shake really fast. And when you're quivering your body, To quiver it's sometimes something that is used when someone is scared or nervous. They might quiver. And so we can quiver and dance. Okay, now releve is another ballet term. If we start in first position again, releve, simply put, is just going up on your toes. Now, there's a lot more to it than that, but from what we're talking about right now, I just want you to think about how you can be flat on your feet, and then you can lift your heels off the ground and go up as far as you can onto your toes. Okay, good. So we're in first position, and then we're going up in releve. S is for slice. A slice can be something where you use your arm to make a slice through the air. You can slice going on a horizontal line, or you can slice going vertically. You can slice with your leg as well. It doesn't have to be an arm. You can slice with your head, or use your imagination to imagine that your eyes are slicing across. And when we move our eyes like that, that is called spotting. We're transferring our focus of where we're looking from one place to another. And if you do so quickly, it's like you slice across the view there. Okay, now T. T is for tiptoe. So we're going to go up in releve onto our tiptoes, and we're going to move around a space. You can decide where you want to move exactly, what kind of shape you want to draw, but imagine that you are up in releve on your tiptoes, okay? Tiptoes. Good. Sometimes people do this tiptoe, and that's kind of like a tiptoe for sure. You're up in releve, you're on your little toes there. But that one can also be known more as something like creep or sneak. So tiptoes, generally we want to focus on our heads up and our backs straight when we tiptoe. U is for unfold. So go ahead and just bring your hands and your legs together and bend down. And I want you to think about first unfolding, standing upright, and then unfold the rest of your body. Similar to open, but it's all about the visualization of things unfolding in different ways. It doesn't have to be a horizontal or vertical. It can be a diagonal unfolding. It's very similar to open, but just visualizing that unfolding. Okay? Unfold. V, kind of similar to quiver, is vibrate. But when I think of quiver, like I said, I think of nervous or scared a little bit more. When I think of vibrate, I think of shaking and moving really quickly, right? Can you try to vibrate your whole body from your toes all the way up your knees and your shoulders and your fingertips? Okay, now wiggle. Wiggle's pretty fun, and I'm sure you know how to wiggle. When we wiggle, we jiggle and we move our whole body around. We get rid of our wiggles, but they're pretty fun and we bring them back a lot, right? We are on X, and X is for explode. Now, technically, the word explode starts with the letter E, but for our purposes, we're gonna use the term explode for X. So for explode, it is a type of jump. So we kind of bring ourselves into middle level, into a ball shape, and we're gonna jump up and out into a star shape. So we're combining that middle level with open and unfold and jump all at the same time when we explode. Okay, so we're gonna tuck and then we're gonna jump up and out. Okay? All right, let's try it together. So everybody bundle in, and on 3, we're gonna explode. 1, 2, 3, explode! Good, let's try it again. Ready? Tuck, tuck, tuck. 1, 2, 3, explode! Y is for yank. Yank is similar to pull, and yank can be more of a fast, abrupt pull. Okay, so you can yank from the ground, you can yank to the side, and then you can also imagine that you drop it, and then you yank and pick it back up. It's all about that visualization and creating that sequence with whatever sort of energy you want it to have. So energy is how we move. It's the feeling of our movement. And energy is one of those dance concepts we've talked a bit about. Now, we're at Z, my friends. Z is for zigzag, which is one of our pathways we've talked about. When we do a zigzag pathway, we move in one direction and we make a sharp turn to move into another direction. Stop, sharp turn, another direction. Now we can also just move our individual body parts in a zigzag form. So you can move your leg in zigzag, drawing back. Try that. We can zigzag our arms. And so zigzag can be something that you do with your body to make different shapes. And it's also a pathway that we can follow while we are creating our dance sequences. Because once you have a dance sequence and you're like, okay, I like this movement, I like this one. Now I want to echo it back and do those again, then add this, this, and this, and this. And the whole time I'm going to move from one side to the other in a zigzag pathway. Right now, students, you are building and learning all of these different words in order to be able to create your own dances and to be able to identify what you see when you are watching other dances as well as when you're learning them. And as we build our vocabulary, our words that we can say and words that we understand, then we have so many more tools in our toolbox that we can use for dancing and creating, which is just so much fun. Great job with the ABCs, everyone. Now for this week's Seesaw response, I want you to try to spell out your name using the different movements that we've assigned to each letter of the alphabet. So if your name is Mike, then you would find the movements for M-I-K-E, if that's how you spell your name, Mike. So the movements would then be melt, isolate, kick, and echo. So if I was doing that one, I would think about melting. I would choose a body part to isolate. I would throw in a couple of kicks. And then I might just echo back that movement that I had just done and either do another kick or repeat that sequence of melt, isolate, and kick. I really look forward to building some more sequences with you and getting to see all of your creative ideas. You all are so fabulously creative, and I am blown away by your work all the time. I love getting to see the different videos that are uploaded on Seesaw. It really brings a smile to my face, and I'm so proud of you all. So keep up the great work, and I look forward to getting to see you again and talk to you soon. Share your thoughts in groovy dance moves on Seesaw.